Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Amethyst Rune Witch and today we're going to be doing some sigils. So essentially a sigil is it's a symbol, but it can be literally anything could be a sigil. A pentacle could be a sigil because you're invoking the elements. So with pentacle, hope just about, that's a bit better. So with a pentacle, you've got the circle, you've got the 5-pointed star. Mine's a little bit wonky because I can't draw, but you've got, that's a sigil in itself because you're calling on the elements, but there's also an element of protection. There's also an aspect of protection. It's used a lot as a protective image. So that can be a sigil. A heart could be a sigil. I really can't draw hearts, so it's a heart. A heart can be a sigil, to draw in love, but you can also, there's a couple of other things that you can do when it comes to drawing sigils and how to use them. So for me, a sigil is a spell in and of itself, but you don't need herbs, crystals, or anything else. You don't even need a container for it. It can just be. So as let's see, what kind of sigil could we do? So for this, I am loved. Let's go with I am loved. So we're starting with an I am, a statement, and it always has to be, because it's a present tense thing. So it's constant. It's not something that happens and then goes away. So by saying I am loved, it's a constant. That's the that's the part of it. That's the statement. That's all it is. You could, if you wanted to, you could go, it doesn't have to be an I am statement. It can be I love myself. So you could go for a self-love statement instead. I am protected is another one. It's literally, you can make a sigil from any kind of statement, but I would suggest, because I'm going to show two methods. So one is going to be using the letters, and then the other I'm going to use runes, which are slightly different, but I'll show you how I craft them. So take it how you will. It's not a you have to do it this way. These are suggestions. So with this first one, this is the statement we're going with. If you can hear bells or you hear random little noises, it's probably a cat, and I'm going to try and keep them off here because they do like to jump up on my desk, because you guys are on my desk right now, because there's one. Hello. I headed that off of the past. No. What are you up to? Brat cat, you're going to knock things over. I know you are. Not this way. Not this way. Now he's going to my other side. And there he is. So this is Loki. He's my cat who doesn't usually like to appear in videos, but he quite likes being on my desk. Yeah. He's now on top of my door. He's fine, he does that. But anyway, let's get back to sigils. So you can have I am loved. With these sigils, they're a spell. You're perpetuating that element of love. What are you doing? Now you're just being a brat. Hang on. Apologies for that. I just had to check on the cat. He's on top of the door. He can stay there. He's fine. But yes, so sigils are like the easiest kind of spell anyone can do. And it doesn't matter what method you use. When I do sigils, they just are. They're there. It's up to you how you want them to look. So if I were to take I am loved, this statement, and turn it into a sigil, first off, remove all vowels. So we're left with an M, an L, a V, and a D. This is a nice easy one. I'll do another letter one. So like I am protected. That'll be a good one to do. So I am loved. So we've got these four, and this is all we need. These are the only letters that we need for this sigil. So I'm gonna just to separate the two. So with these four letters, we can put them together. So we can start with the M in the middle. And I'm doing it lowercase. So this is how I'm starting. The L. I kind of feel like the V's already in here. Hang on. Let me grab me other. Still hope, yeah, you can still see. So with these, we've got, how visible? Whoa. Don't move. Yeah, that's visible. Oh, I don't like that. Whoops. So with V, I kind of feel like it's sitting in here. It's sort of that part of the M. There's the L, which I kind of feel like can easily either be here on this kick, or it could be built into that stem, like the initial straight edge of the M. I kind of feel like it should be here. Alright, I don't like the green. So, as I was saying, it's either here, or you could put the L here. But when I say put it there, it's adding in the flick from the L. So it's adding in that little curve at the end of it. But I kind of don't feel like it's... that part of the M is not part of it, so... that's the L. So we've got the M, the L, the V. Now we've got to work out where the D goes. I kind of don't want it to go in this little bit here in the middle. So I think it's going to have to go here. I don't have any other colours, so I'm going to do it in a red again. So because it's... saying that, if I do this the right way, it's sort of visible, which is kind of how I wanted it. So from the end, jumping down, Loki's off the top of the door. And then I tend to do lowercase more than uppercase. So I as I write, that's how it's going to come up. I don't tend to go in for capitals. So I steer clear of those. Just personal preference. So from this, we've got... So from putting all those together, I know I drew it a little bit small. So from that, we've got... I am loved. So now we've done a nice and easy, simple one. It's literally just remove all the... let's get rid of all the vowels. That's all it is. Let's get rid of all the vowels and then work from there. If you've only got a handful of letters like this, you're fine. So that's the sigil for I am loved. That's it. So let's go on to this one, which is I am protected, which is a little bit different, and you'll see why. So we do the same again. We get rid of all vowels. So the I goes, the A goes, the O, and both the E's. So we just get rid of them. We ignore them. So we're left with M, P, R, T, T, C. Oh no, the C and there's, I forgot. So we got the C and then a T. Now, this is where things get a little bit different because we've got two T's. That looks like an A, that's a D. So what we do from here is we don't need both T's, so we're only going to use one. Get rid of one. So we are left with MPRTCD. It doesn't matter which T you get rid of, but I like to go in that's the first one I've come up against. That's the second one, goodbye. That's how I do it. It's easier for my brain. So I am protected. So we start with the M. So we've got this might be a little bit bigger. So this is going to be a much bigger and more complicated sigil than I am loved. It's just how it's going to go. Don't worry, I will show you up close what these look like. But for now, this is where we're at with I am protected. So where do we fancy the P going? I mean, the P could be right here in this part. I'm going to draw it in blue, I think. So we could have the P sitting nicely in this part. So we've got the P. Now we need the R. But again, we've kind of already got the R because it's in that start of the M. Maybe not how I write, but you know. We've got the R sitting in here because it's also part of how the P starts. Next we've got the T. You can have the T whichever way you like. So I've drawn the T that way, but you could just as easily have that T in there. You could have that kick of the tea. I quite like the tea being balanced in here. So that's where I'm putting my tea. There we come with the C. Where do I want the C? I mean, I kind of feel like the C has just been flipped and is sitting in this second arch of the M. But at the same time, I kind of like this, having it balanced. So you've got the round of the P and the curve of the C sort of mirroring each other and part of it. So there we've got the C. Now we've got the D. And the D is going to have to be down here anyway. So I quite like that it's this part. So that's where I've put it. And I am going to draw it out again. And I always start with the first letter. So, a couple of sigils. This is the letter way. This is not my preferred method, but I know it. I've used it many times in the past, so it's an easy one to do. So let's bring you up close and personal. We've got I am loved. Removed all the vowels, crossed them out in red. We're left with these, and then worked out where they were going, and ended up with this symbol. So this is the sigil for I am loved. This is the sigil we've ended up with. I say we, I've just crafted it. So this is how I draw it. If you would put the letters in a different way, that's up to you. You can absolutely do that. Now with I am protected, it's a little bit different because, as I said, we've taken all the vowels out and we're left with a double letter. So we take the second one out, mishmashed them together, came up with this. This is the working ones. This isn't what I call the final product. This is. So this is I am protected. You're welcome to use it. You don't have to. It's completely up to you. Apologies for that view then. But yes. So this is just just a couple of possibilities for sigils. So these are what we've got. I'm going to run through how I do rune sigils, which some people call bind runes. I can kind of see why, because it's a bit different. It feels different to me anyway. Just thinking. Because I'd like to keep these. Well, you can pause and what have you. That's those. So let's see. So now we go to runes. Now I do these. I use the same method, but I can use two different ways to get to it. So to start it, I can either have a I can either look at the runes and see which ones feel like I need to use them. Or I can start with um, a statement. I It depends on what the intention of the sigil is. If it's going in a spell, I will probably just pick a couple of runes. Now, if you don't have a rune guide, so something like this with all the runes on them and some keywords for associations of that rune. So we've got, I quite like Dagaz. Dagaz is my favourite at the moment. So this is, or it's like dawn or breakthrough. Really hope you can read my writing. So we've got Dagaz, which is dawn or breakthrough. This is currently my favourite rune, which is fine. Let's go with answers. So I'm constantly getting answers and Feihu mixed up. So this is answers. And this is insight or true vision. Now, answers is very similar to Feihu, which kind of looks similar, but instead of coming down, it's upwards. But answers is the one I want today. So let's see what. Let's see. I quite like this. So Rido literally just looks like an R, but it's straight lines. There's no curving about it. It's very straight. So this is, oh no, I can't write all of a sudden. This is how. Now, some people will put a H in, not everyone does. I'm going to, but this is for so what I do is I will get 3 to 5 sigils together. And then I won't use more than 5 if I can help it, because 5 just seems like a nice round number for sigils. So from this, what statement do I want? No, I do want. Alright, I'm going to use a 4th one. So this is one of my favourite ones. So with another thing about runes is I feel like they're sigils on their own. So especially with so Tiwaz is literally just an arrow, but Tiwaz is all about justice on a, you know, it's that kind of thing. So if you've got a legal case, then you can literally just draw this on yourself. Draw it on a piece of paper and carry it on you somewhere. You know, if you don't have pockets in the outfit you're wearing, draw it on yourself with body lotion, moisturizer. If you wear makeup, draw it on you with makeup. It's so easy how to use sigils. It's unreal. So that's Tiwaz, but this is my favorite. This is one of my favorites. So this is Algiz, and this is Protection. This is the rune of protection. You also have it as a shield. But I mainly use it for protection. So this one's definitely going in. Let's go with Breakthrough. Protection with a Breakthrough. I'll come back to this one. So these are the associations I'm going to use within this. Apologies, I went quiet there. So I've started off with quite literally just protection. Breakthrough. So I don't feel like Raido is going to be needed because it's kind of going to be in there anyway, based on Degas and Susan Alges. So see, this is what happens sometimes. So I'll start with a few runes that I feel like I want to use, but then by the time I get to my statement, I'm done. I don't. Sometimes I cross them out. Sometimes I bring other ones in, and I feel like this is a good one. So the words where I've started it with a capital letter, so protection, that is a capital P. Protection, breakthrough, and true vision. That's when these come in. So now, just gonna. So again, it's just these three. That's all it is. I'm gonna move you. I've just noticed every single one ends with a zip. this was. Sorry, I can't write at an angle. But that's the one we're using. So I'm going to rewrite this up the top. Shift you down. Oh, I did that wrong. See, I'm not used to this. This is a little bit different to how I usually just write things on a bit of paper and then go from there. So, protection while experiencing. I really hope you can read this. There's a word missing. So I am going to change it up ever so slightly. I'm just going to add in an and. So I added in an and, just because that's what felt right for the statement. So this is the intention, this is the purpose behind the sigil. This is it. So what I do is I will go in order. So protection, let's do this in blue. So I'm going to draw you first. Algiz is going to go first. Breakthrough is going to go second. So Dagaz goes second, and then Answers is the last one. So they might not be on this side in the right order, but we're gonna go with it. So actually, I'm gonna do different colours with these, just to make it easier to see how they've been added. So Dagaz is going to go in red. You can see that, lovely. Right. Let's see. Green is a little bit lighter, but you can see it, lovely. Right, so Algiz goes first. So we have I am rubbish at drawing straight lines, but that's not bad. So, Algiz, it's the first thing. So, protection. While experiencing a breakthrough. Dagaz. Now, Dagaz can be as big or as small as you want it. So, what I want to do is build it off these. So, again, see, I'm rubbish at drawing straight lines. See, this is now where my point comes in. I can't draw straight lines. But then again, to be fair, who can? So there we've got Dagaz, because it is up in this. It's just, we're kind of not really showing it. So that's Algiz and Dagaz. So now we've got Answers. We can add this one in wherever we want. So we could have Answers come down from here and come across, which would kind of make a double Dagaz, because it would come across. Kind of don't think you can see that. So let's see if I do that. Can you see? Not really. So because we kind of got a Degas, it's just a wonky one. And then there's kind of a double Degas in there. You could add the Degas in down here. You could add it in from off the side. It's wherever feels right. And Suze. I kind of feel like down here feels right. So where I've drawn these two, so it's part of this. It's easier to use my finger with these, with this. So, right, this is what we're left with. So this is the work. This is the working sigil. Should have drawn it slightly over here, but never mind. See, I'm learning. I'm learning how to do these. I say learning. This is the first time I've used this as a teaching tool. I suddenly thought, my teachers used to use a whiteboard and it was really easy to like draw things. So bear with me. I'm just going to repeat this. Come on. Because it's both. Here. See, I can't draw a straight line. That's wonky as all heck. And then finally, Francis comes in, and so would be part of this spoke. So we'll add that in. And again, I really can't draw a straight line. So let's finish off removing that. So that's the work in progress. That's the this is the what's the word? The draft. I think that's this is like just the draft version of it. So, and it's literally, that's the order I would draw them in. Is algaes first. Apologies, my board keeps moving. Fehu. No, answers. There we go. Right. That's the finished product. This is the finished product. Now you can see it better. That's it. I could have had Degas sitting at the top. It's with runes, I feel like there's a little bit more creativity because you're not trying to find a particular way of doing it. But this I quite like. I like this. I'm going to keep this. So this one I will keep. So this one I'm going to keep, and I'm going to put it in my book of sigils because I have a book of sigils. So that's my process. Let's see. So I have a fair few empty notebooks floating around, and this just happens to be my dinky diddly itty bitty sigil notebook. So this is where I put in all the sigils. So I've used 4. This one I've used 3. I try not to use more than 5 at a push, but I like a good round 3. 3 is nice and easy. So this page is where this sigil will be going. And I literally draw it in how I've explained doing it here. So I hope this has been useful. I hope my methods of creating sigils have inspired you to look at how you do your own. If you have any questions, please do put them in the comments and I will respond. I'll answer them. And yeah. So if you know of anyone who's been a little bit confused about how to draw sigils, because some people have like extra curly swirly bits in them and things like that, you can do that, but you don't have to. It's an optional method of doing sigils. I did a workshop a couple of years ago, and I have a book called Sigil Witchery in my lovely collection, and it really is step by step. It's so informative, it's great. But this kind of sigil witchery, so it's how to draw things like this, and I'm like, that's not me. This is me. This is, yes, let's do this. But like, if this is what someone wants, I'll definitely recommend this. I have it so that if I want to use it, I can. And it's really helpful. So there's all sorts. But yes, so if you have any other questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. I absolutely 100% will respond. If you know of anyone who is wanting to get into sigils but doesn't really know how and wants a couple of easy ways to get into them, feel free to share, like and subscribe, and I will see you again soon for some more making magic. Stay safe, everyone, and blessings to you all.